Hello. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Azam.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum and good noon.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Doctor.
Yeah. Now the in charge can properly open, and then I will start.
বাল ছাল দিছে এগুলো গুগলের চাপ।
Hello, Dr. Ruslina.
Yes, Dr. Azam.
Yeah, may I start, or you want to say something initially?
Oh, I thought Dr. Chia will will be the MC. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to all of you. Before we start, I would like to introduce Dr. Muhammad Azam, our speaker today. Okay, Dr. Muhammad Azam Khan is an adjunct visiting associate professor at School of Economics, Finance and Banking, University Utara Malaysia. He received his Master, MPhil and PhD in Economics from the Departments of Economics, University of Peshawar, Pakistan, and postdoctorate from the Departments of Economics, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, USA. He currently serving as chairman, Department of Economics at the AWKUM, KP, Pakistan. Dr. Muhammad Azam Khan's research interests include monetary and macroeconomics, development economics, international economics, and energy and environmental economics. He has several research articles published in reputable national and international journals, such as in Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, The Wiley in the Science and Emerals, among others. Dr. Azam Khan also currently has an impact factors of 176 and H index of 23 from Scopus Elsevier and an H index of 31 from Google Scholar. Dr. Azam also was ranked in the top 2% of the world's most influential scientists with the number ranks of 45713 by Elsevier, Stanford University 2020. Okay, Dr. Muhammad Azam, the floor is yours. Dr. Muhammad Azam?
Yes.
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. Ruslina. Thank you for good words. Assalamu alaikum and a very good noon to everyone. Hope more majority of the faculty know me because I spent almost 4.5 years with the ECB during 2012 and 16. Uh, Today, my topic is how to write and get published in high impact factor journal, which is the aim and objective of every research scholar to publish in good reputable journal. Prior to this, I'm happy that ACB is always focusing to organize good webinar, seminar, workshop, while the main objective of the ACB is to focus on more productive research work. So I'm happy, and this is you can see uh, that who, what, where, when, why, how, these all are related to research. Question, answer. So I'm sharing today basically my own experience, then how I started and how I'm working so far. So I'm sharing mostly my own experiences with the top journal. In today's presentations, these are the outlines of the presentation. But I will start from here that whenever we are writing any research article, so we should think before we start our article. That is called what? Is it cold or hot issue? Is it new original results or method? I'm sorry, I have throat infection, so there is some problem in my voice, and sometime you will feel that my voice is blurred, and this is because from the last 3 days I am suffered from throat infection, so my voice is a little bit changed, and but I will try to use to use my simple accent and to deliver my talk and the meaning to everyone. So is it cold or hot issue? I'm talking about the topic which we are selecting. So is it cold or a hot issue? Or is it new original results or method? Or have you provided solution to some difficult problem? So it's very important. Prior to starting our any research article, we should think about these. What not to publish, report of no scientific interest. Sometimes we are publishing article, but in 1 year, 2 or 3, or even in 10 years, no one take interest to read out that. Even no one cite that one. And nowadays citation is much more important. We want to publish, but we want to see the citation of our article, whether the research scholar are benefiting from our article, whether our research article we publish the problem for which we have provided certain solution, use some empirical strategy, is meaningful, interesting, valuable, and quoting by the other scholar, or some people are criticizing our work. It means there is something valuable in our work. So we should focus on good work, not to publish some kind of report which doesn't have any meaning or outcomes or value, or if there is no any solution for the problem, so no one will take interest and will cite our article. Out of date work. Out of date work, for example, if we are using secondary data, so secondary data is available from in the World Development Indicator till 2020. So we should include latest data for our empirical analysis. If we run regression till 2015, but mostly the reader are interested in new data, because every year fluctuation occur in the economy. So mostly the reader are interested in new data. Duplication of previously published work, we should avoid it. So publication are important in career building, though it take time. However, it also get easier with practice. Therefore, don't wait any longer and start writing that paper now, while keep in mind quality, not quantity. uh, what type of manuscript or article we should focus or we should write. Whether we should write a full article, original article, that most important paper, often substantial and significant completed pieces of research, or whether we should write a letter to the editor regarding some already published work. Sometime, if there is a theory, some people supported that theory, you want to write against of that. So in that case, we are writing letter to the editor, or sometime we are writing review paper. Review papers in which there is no any empirical analysis. So we should keep in mind whether the article, the status of the article is what. So mostly in case of good article, we focus on full article, is not letters in review paper. Sometimes we suggest to the student, we suggest to our MS and PG student that initially you write a review article. So our student can be benefited from the review article or from the review paper. So initially the student will understand that how many studies done on this topic, where is the gap, and there are how many theories related to this topic. And the student will present some a conceptual framework. So we can suggest to the student, for the student it is good, but for the faculty or already those who have done a PhD, so for those I will never suggest a review article, and will suggest to focus more on full article. Self-evaluate your work for student. Ask your supervisor and your colleagues for advice on manuscript type. Sometimes outsider can see things more clearly than you. It means that when a student select a topic, this is better to discuss with the supervisor, discuss with other people whether the topic I selected is appropriate, can I work on this or not. What make a good manuscript? It is all about the reader. Remember, editor and reviewer are in this group. Writing a good manuscript is not easy. Be prepared to work hard on it. Cherish your own work. If you don't take care, why should the journal? Why should the editor? Why should the reviewer? There is no secret recipe for success, just some simple rule. Dedication and hard work is important. Editor and reviewers are all busy scientists just like you, make things easy to save their time. What does it mean? It means that mostly I have been observed that when we write article, we say this is okay. I have written article, and then we are submitting to journal, but the article is full of flaw. So it's better once we write an article, then we should give to our 2, 3 friends. We should take some review, or better to present that article that were in 1, 2 good places to get some input. In USA, when I was in USA, one professor was delivering a talk. He was from Bangladesh, and he told that I need some input because I'm working on this article from the last 4 years, but so far I didn't complete this, and I need some of your input. If there is any flaw, if there is any deficiencies, so tell me to include that. So better to present our article anywhere, or if we don't have time, we need publication for our promotion. So when we write one article, we shall give to our 1, 2, or 3 friends, and we should get review comments from our friend, good friend, and tell them that to review it in depth, thoroughly, and give us some comments when we incorporate, so the quality of the paper will improve. Identify the right audience for your paper. Identify the sector of leadership community for which a paper is meant. Identify the interest of your audience. Is your paper meant for specific community, local or international trust? Think about the readers, that who will read your paper. It's very, very important. It's very, very important in terms of citation. So whenever we want to write an article, we should keep in mind that who will read it. If the issue is a local issue, so no any international community will track and trust. No any international community will read that one. No international author will cite our article. But if we write on such an area in which international local community and international also take interest, read out that and inside, so that is more important. So we should keep in mind that who are reading our article. This is everyone know. This is just I'm sharing that what are the important components or ingredient of article. Everyone know. But this is I'm sharing my own experience. So the title shall be new, more attractive, composite, and effective. And select topic for Q1 journal. We should select or we should write or the title of our article shall be for Q1 journal. Means a high quality journal. Abstracts. There is no hard and fast rule, but in international journal, the length of the abstract shall be from 100 to 300 words. Some journal allow 300 and some journal allow 100 words, but usually it should be less than 200 words. This is I quoted here Emerald. So Emerald, the pattern of the abstract of Emerald is the purpose of the study, method of the study, finding, conclusion, policy option, and contribution. So it's better we should write our article in this way. There is no need if we want to submit to Emerald publisher, then these are necessary to be included in the abstract. But if we are not submitting to Emerald, if we want to submit to Springer, the Valley, elsewhere, Taylor and Francis, and other, so we should delete purpose, a method finding, but the text of these shall be over there. Keywords are important. This is from 3 to 5, but the standard is from 4 to 8. It is depend also on publisher. Every publisher here has their own criteria. And this is the JL codes or classification for economics or also important. Introduction uh, shall be consist of the problem or main issues, objective, motivation, significance, and the feature of the study. So at the end of the introduction part, before the reader guide, so we should find some feature of the study over other studies. And this is in the literature review, you know, this theoretical empirical data analysis, and we all know about the other thing. So if you have any questions, so you can observe here and later on you can ask me. Title should be attractive and title of the article should be thrilling, more effective and composite. This is one title is Human Capital and Economic Growth in ASEAN. This is one title. Another title is Human Capital and Economic Growth Empirical Evidence from Selected ASEAN Countries. And then the third one is Causal Relationship between Human Capital and Economic Growth, Empirical Evidence from 5 ASEAN countries. So which one is more attractive? So to me, the last one is more attractive if we compare to the first and second one. The first title is basically, this is a book title. Book title is different from article title. So in the second title, if you see here, this is a human capital and economic growth empirical evidence from selected ASEAN countries. So we don't know selected, how many selected, but in the last one, to me, this is more attractive. So here, this is the causal relationship So this two words are further added in the second title, and at the end provided 5 ASEAN countries. So the title shall be more attractive. So it's very important. If the title is attractive, so every one will try to read. But if the title is not attractive, so people will never read your article. Arrange your article according to the journal format where you intend to submit. Every Springer has their own format, Elsewhere has their own format, Sage has their own format, Emerald has their own format, Ender Science and Cambridge has their own format. So when you prepare your article and then when you decide to submit to Springer, so read out 1, 2 article from the Springer, that journal, particular journal, and then reformat your article to the format of that particular journal where you want to submit. Good organization of manuscript. Read many papers and learn from good one and bad one. Double check all references. It's very, very important. What I say, so far, even a lot of researchers, they are ignoring references. So sometimes you will see many references in the text, but those references would be missing in the references list. And sometimes you will see so many references in the references list, but those all would be missing in the text. So double check whatever references we provided in the text shall be presented in the references list. And sometime I myself, whatever reference I cite, I read that article. I don't want to take reference from any other published article, because sometimes some published article they are citing wrongly. How they are wrongly? For example, an article published by Azam Khan in 2020, so they are providing this is Azam Gul 2019, and sometimes the title may be correct, but the journal name and volume, issue and page number would be totally wrong. So don't take reference from already published article, rather Google and read out the actual article and cite from the actual article. So it will cherish your article. It will give value to your article. So references are, and it's sometime, because I'm reading an article for so many, for more than 80 top journal of the world, I'm reading. So sometime there are two other, but the scholar are mentioning only a single author, or sometimes there are so many author, but they are citing only two author. It means that the scholar didn't read the article, just took name from any other poor or fake journal. So it's highly important to double check all references we cited in our article. Novelty of idea is important. There shall be no mumbo and jumbo in article. By mumbo and jumbo, I mean that you started something in the introduction different, then you skip, you started another thing. There shall be a connectivity. There shall be a sequence. There shall be a novelty in your article, that what you are saying from the top to the end. So it's very important. Comprehensive review of literature is important. Literature review will give us that where is the gap. If, for example, the same work done by some other people, then there is no value of our own work. We want to differentiate our work from the already published work. So how do we know? We know if we read prior studies, all related studies, if we read out, if we study, then we will understand that where is the gap, or how my study is different from those prior studies. So it's very important. Strong data, strong analysis, strong data. The data shall be from more authentic sources. It's not, for example, if we took the data from the Wikipedia, so it shall not be more authentic. if we take the data from the World Bank, World Development Indicator, World Governance Indicator, or there are so many other, and local, for example, Malaysian government survey, or we have in Pakistan Economic Survey, Indian Economic Survey. There are so many local survey, and they are issuing by the Ministry of Finance. But usually we use data from the World Bank. There is another issue. I don't want to discuss that. A lot of people are working on primary data. A lot of people are working on secondary data. Those who are working on primary data, they say that primary data is far better than secondary data. But those who are working on secondary data, they say the secondary data is far better than primary data. I don't want to comment on this issue. So both is good for, and both has some pros and cons, primary data and secondary data. But I myself so far is using secondary data. I'm using data from the World Development Indicator, World Governance Indicator, and so many other sources. So it's depend. But if we are using secondary data, we should have to justify. Or if we are using primary data, we should have to justify. And then appropriate use of table. And this is very important. Sometimes we are writing a very clumsy tables, a very clumsy figure. So the tables and the figure shall be very sophisticated. And write length of the article. Length of the article, again, there is no hard and fast rule. But for example, applied economic letter, I think the length of the article shall be less than 2,500 words. It's depend on the journal. So there are so many good journal, impact factor journal, and the length may be maximum to 2,500 words. But there are some other journal, even they consider about 10,000 words, right? So it's depend on the publisher, and it's depend on the journal, that which journal you want to publish. But usually the length of the words of the Emerald Journal is 6,000 words. So 6,000 word is not bad idea. So we should keep in mind this 6,000 word. If we are not writing for any particular journal, that is, I told applied, I think applied applied economic journal, applied economic letter, I think. So the names. So there are so many journal. They need that the length of the journal, sorry, article shall be within 2,500 word. Write backward. How to write? Write in the following order. Title is important. So initially, we should write a tentative title. Then we should read out prior studies, literature review, to understand that where is the gap and what would be the contribution of my study. Then we start from the introduction. Then we start figures and table, right? These are not those tables which we are citing after regression. These are these tables I'm talking about. If we want to add some tables in the introduction part, or those figure in the introduction part, this is I'm talking about those. And then we should focus on the method. Before the method, basically, those who are doing empirical or quantitative work, so they are setting their model. That what is the model? And from this is very, very important. If, for example, we are using any model, if the model is the quantity theory of money, so we should provide strong justification that this quantity theory of money model is came from where? Whether this model is based on the Fisher equation, or this is used by Milton Friedman, and this then this is used by Vogel, Robert, and so many, then we should have to provide a strong justification. Or if we want to use any growth equation or growth model, for example, we want to use endogenous growth model. So then we should have to justify that from where this model came, right? And then what new variable you included and who previously included in the model. So this is model specification. Our theoretical foundation of the model is highly important. And it's better to provide a conceptual framework. The conceptual framework basically tell us about the hypothesis. That what are hypotheses? If one factor, the effect of one factor on another one is how much, whether that is decreasing or increasing, or what would be the consequences of that factor. Then we should write results and discussion. What I know by discussion, result we know we are deriving based on, for example, if we are doing some empirical work, so whatever result we obtain from the data. So I don't want to discuss in detail, so some econometrician would be there and they knows better that we should follow a proper empirical strategy for the data analysis. And then once we finalize that this estimation techniques is suitable for our data, then we should have to provide a strong justification that why we want to use. These are the benefits of this estimator over other estimator. Then we are deriving results, we are interpreting results, and then we go for the discussion. In the discussion, we say whether these results are applicable on that particular country or region or not, or how many previous studies found similar result or contradictory results. Then we come to the conclusion and some policy recommendation. Then we go to the introduction. We are refining our introduction. After conclusion, we are refining our introduction, and then we are setting our abstract and refine your title, because initially you propose a tentative title, but once you completed your article, then uh, then we understand that what topic we want to be for our article. So that is more important. Each section has a definite purpose. Every section has their own value. So this is just I shared that how to write article from where to start. Maybe I skip some minor, but this is because of the lack of the time. But if someone asks me a question, so I will clarify. Uh, okay. This is tips. Find out problem. Then talk to the people. Is it a problem? For example, if there is a problem in your mind, so then talk to the people. For example, if there is food inflation in ASEAN countries, so you say that why there is a food inflation, why food price is increasing, particularly in Asian countries or particularly in Malaysia or Pakistan or any other country. So then read out some literature, whether how many people carried out work on this issue, and then write a one page or half page and discuss to your friend whether I want to work on this. Is it a problem? That what are the causes? What are the determinants? What are the factors due to which the food price is increasing on monthly basis, on yearly basis, on from the last 3, 4, 5 years, food prices increases. For example, this is a problem in your mind, then discuss with your friend. When you have a good idea, don't worry for the rejection. Rather, it will improve your work. Be deterministic. Think for the long run, not short run. Find 2 or 3 topics which are equally important. Focus on one article, but continue work on 2 or 3 articles. If you need 2 articles, start on 5 articles. Sometimes or usually, we faculty need publication for our promotion, for our contract, for our new appointment. So for that reason, if we need 2 articles, we should start from 5 articles. So uh, it means that we can achieve our objective. Submit 2 for quick publication and the rest for quality publication. Even one can test old hypotheses with the new data. Huh. This is a burning issue. People says that a lot of work already have been done on all area. So what is new? Or what kind of new work we can conduct? Or there is no any problem. So there are so many problems still. Even you can test old hypotheses. Even we can work on old theory. When I was in ECB, I did work with Prof. Salim Rashid. We tested the quantity theory of money. We did 4-year work on that. We test that is old theory, the quantity theory of money. The quantity theory of money says when money supply increases, so prices increases. And this is based on the Fisher equation. Milton Friedman did a lot of work and he is the founder of this quantity theory of money. And he mentioned that there is one-to-one relationship between supply of money and prices. This work endorsed by Vogel in 1970. And then in 1980, 85, 86, and 97, Robert Locus endorsed and verified empirically that Milton Friedman is correct and Vogel is correct. Then in 1995, McCallum conducted a study on 102 countries and he endorsed all previous studies that Milton Friedman was right, Vogel was right, Robert was right, and I proved it. Then me and Salim Rashid conducted a work and we retested their work and we proved that there is no relationship. It means that we challenge it, we challenge the validity of the quantity theory of money. We submitted that article to the Journal of Keynesian Economics, but the article returned. Then we submitted to the Journal of Macroeconomics. Article returned from almost 12 journals. I myself and Prof. Salim were disappointed, but we prepare that we will publish this article. And recently, that article, alhamdulillah, accepted by the Journal of Policy Modeling, and this is mostly of you will know about this is elsewhere journal, and the impact factor is low, maybe 2 point something there, but the journal is a high quality. And you know, I received 4 reviewer comments and 4 reviewers highly appreciated the work. There is no any single correction suggested in the article. And all 4 reviewers highly appreciated the work. And this is, I mean, we tested old hypothesis. Quantity theory of money is old. We didn't include any new variable, but we tested the old one. So this is the first one. The second is add some new variable. If possible, you can include any new variable. Imply good estimation techniques. And this the fourth one is language matter, because how one can say this is original idea when the meaning is not clear. So language is highly important. Sometimes the meaning, if the language is weak and poor, so the meaning may be different. Always aim for the Q1, high quality publication. Do longer time and continue work. Be sure that there is no deficiency from your side in your mind, because reviewers are more thorough and rigorous. Critically review your article by some reviewer, friend, scholar before submission. I already shared with you. When your friend criticize you, it means they want to improve your work. This is very important. If your friend says that there is some flaw, there is some deficiencies in your work, so appreciate them. And present salute to those friends who are pointing, who are telling you that your paper need more work, so you can improve it. This is why we publish. So we need, this is for the PhD degree requirement, 1 or 2 article, or sometime we want to get funding, so we publish, or we want for promotion, or maybe for other reason, so we need publication. Uh, this is already I shared with the help of previous image. Be careful about plagiarism. A shortcut to long-run consequences. Plagiarism is considered a serious offense of your institute by journal editor and by the scientific community. Plagiarism may be result in academic. Here, I know that mostly of you will know that what is the difference between similarity and plagiarism. Plagiarism is basically when you took some material from already published books or article or website, but you didn't provide the source. Similarity, if you took some material, even you provided the source, but you just cut and paste. So that came in similarity. So plagiarism is very bad, and similarity also. Many good journal or international standard is that the similarity shall be less than 19%. This is a, you said uh, this is a plagiarized article published in one journal, but later on they found that the data was fact. So they mentioned a retracted article. Retracted article means so these are or this article is a plagiarized article, but the publisher will never deload from their website, but will write a retracted article. It means that this is a plagiarized work. And what is the consequences of this? This is basically will humiliate the author. When people read out, will say, "Oh, Mr. X and Y published a plagiarized work." This is avoid multiple submission. Don't submit at a time one article to 2 or 3 journals. If, for example, you submitted one article to 2 journals and both accepted with some minor or major correction, so you can publish only with one journal, but the other journal or publisher will make you blacklisted, will never publish your work because you deceived them, you cheated them. They already spent time, they reviewed by 2, 3 reviewers and took 1 year, and then you didn't publish with them and you publish your article with another one. So this is, I suggest that never try to submit. If you submitted your article to one journal and you want to submit to another one, then withdraw your article. The better way is that write to the editor that I don't want to publish with you, so kindly I want to withdraw. But if the article is under review and already with the reviewer, and if the editor can decide whether the editor receives comments from both or from 3 reviewers or not. So initially you can withdraw, later on cannot. Select the best journal for submission. Look at your references. Okay. Once you good author or good researcher are those who have already published many articles. So initially are starting, they're starting from the journal that for which journal I should write. But for the beginner, so if you have completed your article, then go to your references and select any journal from your references, because in your references, all journals are related to your topic. So the better way is to go to your references and select any good journal from that. Review recent publication in each candidate journal. Find out the hot topic, the accepted type of article, etc. Okay. Ask yourself the following question. Is the journal peer reviewed? Who is this journal audience? What is the average time to print or publish? Or what is the journal impact factor? Decide on one journal, don't submit to multiple journal. So it's very important whenever we want to submit to any journal. So first of all, we should have to check whether the journal is indexed in Scopus, whether the journal has any impact factor, whether the journal is listed in the JCR, Journal Citation Report, whether the journal uh, has a citation, or the other journals are citing. If the other journal are citing, means the impact factor is high. So initially we shall check it. Or sometime a good publisher, for example, Springer, Vele, Keller and Francis, these are good journals. These journal cannot be discontinued from Scopus or can never be blacklisted, but mostly paid journal. This year, a journal is in Scopus or having impact factor, but maybe next year the Scopus will discontinue or will make it blacklisted. So it is very important. Okay, I will skip this one because we know peer review and blind peer review, but nowadays mostly what I see, even good journal, the review is not blind peer review, right? So they are providing author's name also. Uh, this is impact factor. I'm sure that everyone know about the impact factor. Impact factor is basically the initial stage is Scopus. So once a journal is, I'm not sure that there are how many journal that having impact factor, but they are not included in Scopus. Maybe less than 1%, but mostly the first stage is shall be indexed in Scopus, and then they go for the impact factor. Impact factor when the journal citation, if for example, X journal index in Scopus, they have certain requirement, eligibility criteria. When a journal become Scopus index, so when their journal, for example, X journal become Scopus index journal. So with the passage of time, when other impact factor journal citing that journal, which index in the Scopus, so their impact factor initially will start. And when the citation of the that X journal, for example, increasing, their impact factor also increasing. Every year, uh, impact factor, they are calculating impact factor, and some journal impact factor decreasing, but mostly impact factor increasing. Because renewable and sustainable energy review journal, 6 years back the impact factor was 5, but today the impact factor is 14.95, I think. This is the criteria for the impact factor calculation. This is the difference between the universal impact factor, global impact factor, and impact factor. Mostly youngster or beginner, uh, they're deceived by this universal impact factor, global impact factor, and they cannot differentiate between these, that which impact factor is important and that is authentic. So the impact factor of Thomson-Reuters is relatively more authentic and acceptable everywhere. Each and every research-based evaluation is based on only. This is a Institute for Scientific Information Based Impact Factor, and this is Thomson Reuters Corporation is a major multinational mass media information firm in Toronto. Okay, you can find this high impact factor journal. This is Institute for the Scientific Information. Okay. Currently, we have Science Citation Index, Social Science Citation Index, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Emerging Source Citation Index. Also, we belong to economics and finance. So we should publish in social science citation index, or we should publish with the, we can publish in sometime in arts and humanities citation index. Emerging source citation index is basically, there are so many journals, they are emerging source citation, but they are not indexed in Scopus. But the above three are mostly above 96.7%, mostly they are indexed in Scopus. But below emerging source citation, I saw many journals, they are emerging source citation, but so far they are not included in the Scopus list. The ISI also published the annual journal citation report. It's very important. We shall check whether the journal is listed in the journal citation report or not. The Scopus Imago is very simple. If you want to check any journal, just write name of the journal and then write Scopus or Schemago ranking. So we'll tell you whether the journal is continued or discontinued, or what is the area of the journal, whether the area of the journal is economics, finance, or there is any medicine or health or environment. This is just a Scopus index journal, so the share of the elsewhere is relatively high. This is 10%. Okay. Okay, this is where to publish. So elsewhere, Valet, Taylor and Francis, Sage, Emerald, Springer, and this is Taylor and Francis. This Routledge is basically also is a part of the Taylor and Francis. Brill is also a publisher. Ender Science is a publisher. Cambridge is a publisher, and maybe there's so many other. But I know these are the most authentic and most popular publisher.
सर जी वो कैपिटल सोल्यूशन कहाँ से होगा?
Hello,
साइन नहीं हुआ ना सर?
hello. Are you asking me?
एक एक हुआ है.
Hello. I hearing some sound that I don't know whether you are asking from me or okay. How to know about the Scopus ISI Impact Factor Journal? Better to okay. This is again average journal has mostly they have regular issue and they have also some special issue. In some countries, ISA they are not considering publication in special issues, right? So it's better to focus and publish in regular issue, comparing to special issue. This is my suggestion. It's depend on you, but in many countries, ISA they are not considering special issue, so it's better to publish with the regular issue. This is nowadays ABDC, Australian Business Deans Council. This is also a database, and this below is also a database. This is Chartered Associations of Business School. So they have a database of publication. They have a database of research journal. So in some countries, for example, in Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, and so many other countries, even in Pakistan, the Central Bank of Pakistan, if they are recruiting anybody, they want to see their publication in the Chartered Association of Business School, not in Impact Factor. And in the ABDC, there is a criteria of A, B, and C journal, while in the Chartered Association of Business School, they have criteria of 431, 4321. So 4 is on the top and 1 is on the lower base. So even we can publish in the journal index with the ABDC or CABS. It is not necessary that all journal indexed with the ABDC and CABS are Scopus. It is not necessary here. This is a review process. This is a peer review process. So it's submission and then to the when we submit, so basic criteria and so on. At the end, we can see this is publishing process of the elsewhere. This is the review and editorial board reviewer. You can see this is a has an article and want to submit into a journal, and the reviewer have some kind of hammers and stick in their hand, right? So when the article come back after the review, well, maybe not quite that dramatic, right? So many times, sometimes you are submitting and receiving rejection, and maybe later on we are receiving emails about the major correction or the minor correction. But sometimes we are lucky when we submit and accepted by the editor. Your paper up to 2 minor revisions, maybe like that. In the academic publishing words, good work, context matter, background, thick skin, passion, preparation for rejection, these all are important. We should keep in mind. A crappy low rank journal. These are crappy journals. The merit research journal, okay. Usually we are receiving a lot of email from the publisher and they say that our journal has this impact factor. You can see here, this is ISI impact factor is 0.526 is a multidisciplinary. This is name of the journal, right? This is International Journal of Environment and Agriculture Research. This is a fact journal. This is not indexed in Scopus. So how this journal got impact factor? So it is a fact journal. It is not original journal. Asian Research Journal. So this journal claiming this the impact factor. What is the impact factor? International Scientific Indexing Impact Factor 1.357. So is a fact journal. So this is a fact journal. This is again is claiming that impact factor is 1.4. ISI is the fact journal. What is their ISI? So one journal ISI is their logo ISI. You saw, or you can see here, the logo is ISI. This is not that Institute for Scientific Information. It doesn't stand for the Institute of Scientific Information. Rather, it is the name of the logo, ISI. And then they say ISI impact factor. So it's a fact. These all are fact. This is fact. So many. Okay, what is my experience? My experience is that there's no any impact factor journal will send email to the scholar, to the author that publish with us, because they have already a lot of article in queue. So why they should write to us to publish with us? But usually paid journal, paid Scopus journal, they are sending email to so many people and they want to earn money. They are money maker. Initially, I also I told you this we should focus on hard issue comparing to cold issue, because in case of the cold issue citation, there would be less citation or minimum citation or no citation. But if the issue is a hard issue, so we can increase citation of our article. Okay, this is the most cited article. This is 2 years back. I collected this data. So the citation you can see is 3 lakh 5,148. And this is a journal of biological chemistry article. And this is below, this is another article, and the citation is about 2 lakh. You can see the citation. Now, a question also came in mind. Sorry. How many co-author in one article? How many co-author? In sciences, you can see a lot of author, but in arts and humanities and social sciences, so usually there may be 3 author. So it's depend, but there is no hard and fast rule. Criteria for co-authorship differ for field, but some papers have a lot of co-author. A physics paper with 5,154 author. Wow, 5,154 authors in one article. So the article name I given below is the combined measurement of the Higgs boson mass in pp collision aid. This is the physical review later. This is physics. This is I discussed with the scientists, with the pure scientists, that how it is possible. Then I read this article. This article, the length of this article is 24 pages, but I think 14 pages are the name of the author and the affiliation. Sorry. I discussed with pure scientists. Basically, 5,154 authors didn't work in this article. Maybe a few did work in this article, but those who did work, they used the laboratory developed by many people. For example, one laboratory developed by 2,000 people, and they conducted one sample. So it is necessary, as per their rule, that they should cite name of all those 2,000 scientists, because they developed that laboratory and the scholar conducted or carried out one sample over there. So in sciences it is possible, but in social sciences the number of the co-author shall be minimum. This is Google Scholar citation is important. ResearchGate is very important. Those so far who didn't registered Google Scholar, so create Google Scholar and upload all of your article. Those who didn't registered in ResearchGate is important. Academia.com. So it's very important. Question arise in mind: how to publish with Q1 journal or ISI impact factor journal? ISI impact factor journal charge with high? No. There are so many journal, a lot of journal, they are not charging any publication cost. There are some journal they are charging, but why we should publish with the paid journal? Why not? If we have research grant, if we have research fund and we need quick publication, then we can submit to those who are charging publication charges. But normally or usually we should avoid that. We should avoid that and we should publish with the free journal, not with the paid journal. Whenever you want to submit to any journal, then read out the author guideline. It's very, very important. What I do, I did one mistake 2 years back. I published with one journal, so I have read the author guideline, but I don't know, I missed. And later on, when they align my article, they asked me that you should pay 2,500 US dollar. I asked them that why I should pay. I didn't fill the author form for the payment. So why you are asking me? And luckily I was the reviewer of the journal and I reviewed I think 8 to 9 articles. I told them that I'm also anyhow 1 year they are writing to me, you should have to pay, and we will write to your Ministry of Education, we will write to your university. But later on I convinced them and I told them that I am your reviewer and so far you didn't pay to me for review. So why should I pay? Why should I pay? And even I didn't fill the other form for the payment. So it's necessary for us to read out the other guideline, whether the journal is a paid journal or that is a free journal. Or usually they give two options. One is for gold open access and another one is for the subscription. So better we should click subscription, not gold open access. Usually they take long. How many author in one article? How many pages one article? What about proceeding or procedia? This is also a question. In some places, they are not considering publication in proceeding or procedia. Proceeding, what I know about proceeding is proceeding if you usually, if there is a conference and we present our article in a conference, so later on they're issuing, aligning one proceeding. And procedia sometime, some publisher, they're publishing article already presented in conference. So they're mentioning name of the conference, date, venue, and then publishing as a journal, and they have name of the journal also, but they mention that this article already presented in that in any national or international conference. So in some countries, they are not considering publication in procedia, but there are some proceeding. For example, American Economic Review papers and proceeding. So it is acceptable. Proceeding of it is acceptable. This proceeding has, I think, impact factor also. Proceeding of the National Academy of Science of the United States of America is the official scientific journal of the National Academy of Science, published since 1915. Our impact factor 9.674. So some specific proceeding, they are acceptable, but not all. There is no way to get experience except thorough experience. Through experience. Always be optimistic, not pessimistic. So this is what I share is my own experience. I share. I myself started this publication journey from 2005. But in 2011, when I was in the United States of America, so I focused more on specific and good article. Then I increased my number of publication in 2013, and I publish with all publishers. And so far, my Scopus Index publication are 73. And in all 73 article, in more than 80%, I am the first author or I am the corresponding author. I have a good experience with all top publishers, that is Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, Sage, Emerald, Valley. If your article uh, is good, is your article has any new idea, or you provided a solution to a problem, or if your techniques is new, the language is fine, so definitely can publish with the high impact factor journal. But keep in mind that selecting journal is very difficult also. Not only writing an article, selecting article is also. Sometime we are publishing with a journal, but the journal doesn't have any scopus, or maybe after 1 year discontinued by the scoper or considered blacklisted, or maybe the journal shows impact factor, but later on we check, so journal become blacklisted. So it's better to publish with the good publisher. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask.
Any question from everyone? Do you have any question?
Hello.
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 Yes.
Just want to ask a question. Just now you mentioned that to be published in Q1 or Q2 journals, it will take a very long time. So we should target like a few articles for high impact journals, but maybe 2 articles we can choose journals with fast publication. So how do you choose journals with fast publication?
Okay, so your question is that Q1 or Q2 journal taking long time. This is one question, and the second question is how we start from 5 article, right?
How to select journal that provide fast publication?
Okay, this is very good. If you browse any journal, so will tell you that in how many days they will respond you, whether 1 week, 2 week, or 3 week, or whether the journal. This is one thing, right? So they basically are mentioning on the first page that in how many days they will respond you, right? This is one thing. The second thing, they choose a publication with those journal which have many issues per year, right? If the journal has 2 issue biannual, so don't submit with that, right? If the journal has quarterly publication or monthly publication, so better to submit with the monthly publication, so you have more chances to publish quickly.
एक कैंडिडेट डालना, उसे भी रात 10 बजे तक हम बैठे हैं इस चक्कर में। एक कैंडिडेट डालना ज्यादा कि हम उस दिन भी तो की वजह से मैं 10 बजे तक इधर अड़का रहा हूँ। मैं पीआर से खुद स्कूल में हो जाती हूँ। क्या है कि करना सिस्टम।
हेलो,
एक कैंडिडेट डालना।
हेलो, हेलो,
Assalamualaikum.
Hello.
पीसीएस वाला नहीं आ रहा है।
yeah, hello, any question?
Yes, doctor, can I ask?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, speak loudly. Kindly, your sound is very slow.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Sir, I don't understand the Scoopus is a database, right?
Your sound is very slow. I'm sorry. Speak again.
Wait, sir. Wait. You hear me now?
Yeah, now it's okay. It's better.
Sir, Scoopus is database, right?
Yeah.
And you say that Scoop again and again. Scoopus is impact factor, or that is just a database?
Oh, yeah. This is basically Scopus is a database, but Scopus is basically this is a category. In Scopus, once they registered in Scopus database, so after Scopus database, with the passage of time, those journal become impact factor.
Q1 factor.
As I told you that more than 95% journals are, those 95% impact factor journal are basically Scopus index.
Okay.
This is the initial stage, right? So once journal need to register in the Scopus database, right? And they have certain requirement, and then they are applying for the impact factor. If the journal citing by the impact factor, so with this passage of time, their journal will be the part of JCR, right? After JCR, their impact factor will start.
Okay. So first, the publisher publish the article, and then it go to database of scoopers, right?
No, the journal, for example, every journal want to be part of the Scopus, want to register in Scopus, but usually
Okay.
the journal cannot fulfill their criteria, right? Once a journal fulfill the criteria of the Scopus, so they become a Scopus journal, right? And they are showing that the journal basically Scopus want to publish good journal, good article and journal. So their basic objective is that to focus on quality research.
Hmm. Sir,
So yeah,
sir,
first it
uh,
becomes Scopus.
the journal mean the publisher, right?
Yeah, this is not the publisher. This is the database.
No, no, Scoopers is database, right?
Yeah.
But the elsewhere and all the others are publishers. They are journal who publish the.
Of course. So
So okay, okay, sir.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Okay, any other questions?
If anyone has any other issue and cannot ask me here, can even write to me, I will try to share my own experience and clear their concept, right?
Dr. Azam, we have one audience here, Dr. Nur Zura.
Okay.
Okay, she asked for your slide. Is it okay for you?
Okay.
Sir,
Okay, thank you.
hello, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can we get the PowerPoint slides?
This is a okay. This short presentation I prepared from the elsewhere and elsewhere presentation that is more than 80 slides, I think.
Okay.
Like, the same thing is in the scope. Anyhow, I will try to share with those who send me their email, whatever I will send them, right?
Also, I should send you the email. My email.
Right. Okay.
Okay, let me send you email.
We have one more question from Associate Professor Dr. Shamza Effa. It is normal for a journal to take more than a year to review our article.
Doctor, kindly repeat your question.
Is it normal for a journal to take more than a year to review our article?
Yeah, this is basically one of my article yesterday. I wrote to them. I submitted that article on 17 February 2020, right? 17 February 2020, I submitted my article to one sage journal, and so far, even I wrote to them 2, 3 times, and they told me that still we are looking reviewer for your article.
Okay, so means that is normal, right?
But okay, what I suggest you, this is my hobby. Publication is my hobby. So at the moment, I have more than 20 article under review. So if you have more article, not only 1 or 2 articles, sometimes we are writing 1, 2, or 3 article we are submitting and we are waiting. No, if we have students, a PhD students, so they can work, or we can jointly work, or maybe it is not possible by one person, right? So I suggest I'm willing those who are interested in my area. So I'm willing to continue research work. I will be the co-author, maybe the second, third, or fourth author based on my contribution and your contribution. So it's better to jointly publish maybe 2, 3, or 4 authors. So jointly can write article. Okay.
Okay, one more question here, Dr. Azam.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, from Dr. Janjan, I think. Okay, why can't we seem to break into really top tier journal such as AER, OJE, or Econometrica? It is because we are not good enough or lack of data.
Okay, doctor, kindly repeat your question. This is some problem in networking, so I didn't understand.
Okay, why can't we seem to break into really top-tier journals such as AER, OJE, or Econometrica? And is it because we are not good enough or lack of data?
Okay, this is you are talking about Econometrica journal or something
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
No, basically, Econometrica, some journal, they focus more on theoretical article, right? So far, I didn't submit to an Econometrica journal. This journal I didn't submit, but what is my experience? It is not impossible. It is possible. But if you read out some article published with Econometrica, follow them, and if there is something new and interesting, valuable, so why not will publish by the Econometric or any other journal?
Okay. Okay, any other question?
Can I also ask, maybe this is a bit different from the topic, but I wonder
Well,
how did you manage to get a lot of citations?
How to increase citation?
Yes.
Your question is that. That's very good. Nowadays, citation is highly important because, and citation is two types citation. One is Google Scholar citation, another one is Scopus Elsewhere citation. So, in developed countries, Scopus Elsewhere citation is more important. Scopus Elsewhere citation means that you publish with the Scopus Elsewhere and cited your article by Scopus and Elsewhere. So, at the moment, my Scopus Elsewhere citation is 25. It means that my 25 article at least cited by 25 other journal. So how to increase citation? So one thing which is normally is bad. Initially, you can even start self citation. Normally, people dislike this one, but initially you can start self citation. So what happened or what is the consequences or good outcome of this self citation? So when initially you cite your own article, so the article would become visible for the other people, and when the other people look on internet, this article also cited by 1, 2, 3, or 10 people, so the other people will also start your citation. So this is one way to at least start your citation. And nowadays, what the people are do, uh, many participant will know nowadays if you submit any article to any journal, so the reviewer will suggest you their own article. On my one article, one reviewer suggested 10 irrelevant journal cited that cite these article. The problem is that if you are not citing their article, so they are suggesting major revision, so we'll go to that author. If you didn't cite their article, so we'll reject your article. Unfortunately.
Okay, we have one more question from Dr. Ibra Khan. Can you show us how to find impact factors of journal?
How to find impact factor journal?
Yes.
Okay, this is I will share. Okay, this is one thing. If you download the JCR report, Journal Citation Report, so you can find all journal are impact factor journal. Download Journal Citation Report 2021, and you will see a lot of impact factor journal over there. Then you can choose. This is one thing, right? Another thing, I will send you one website that is Elsewhere website, and that is Elsewhere website, and the website is how to find suitable journal for your article, right? So when you browse that website, you will put title of the article, then abstract of the article, and then 4 to 5 keywords, and will show you 50 impact factor journal.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes,
Hello?
please.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, is it possible that maybe the journal is not present in that list?
Hello. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. If could you repeat your question?
Dr.
Yes, doctor.
Ibra? Yes. Please repeat your question, Dr. Ibra.
Hello. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand your question. If you could please repeat your question, then I will give you answer.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum.
Yes, please. I just wanted to ask uh, whether the relation with the editor can help to pass your article, because I observe that sometimes many articles rejected, but when you add authors who has good relation with editors, it helps a lot to pass your article. Do you believe from your experience, is it important to have this relation? Thank you.
Sorry, your question is what I understand. You ask me that if I write or if I completed one article, so then I didn't understand it properly.
Yes, I mean, sorry. I mean, sometimes you try to publish your paper, but you get rejection. So
Okay.
in
Okay.
many cases, when you add some authors who has good relation with the journal editors, it
Okay.
helps
Okay.
you to
Okay.
pass your paper easily. Do you,
Okay.
from your experience, how
Okay.
to make
Okay.
explanation on this one? Thank you.
Okay. 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 I understand now. Basically, brother, it's very difficult. If you know any editor, right? If you know any editor, definitely will support your article, but mostly we don't know the editor because the editor are from the USA, from the New Zealand, from the UK, from so many other countries. So in case of impact factor, I am not sure that if we have any friend, maybe some people or very, very minutely, maybe any person has a good friend in elsewhere journal and will publish. Otherwise, it's not possible. Sometime it is what what is that? Usually, I saw many publisher they are sending article not as a blind peer review. They are providing name of the author. Sometime your article goes to your friend for review, right? For review. So maybe your friend can uh, accept your article or maybe can give minor suggestion. It's very difficult to make a friend editor from elsewhere, Sage, Emerald, or so many other publishers.
Yeah, one more question, I think, from Mr. Ibrahim, but I'm not really understand this question actually. Is it possible that journal is not present in this? Is it high impact journal
Mhm.
or what journal, Mr. Ibrahim?
Okay, if the journal is not in the high impact
It's not
factor,
present in this.
again, Ibrar can ask me a question, then if I know, I will reply properly.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, if no other question, I would like to thanks our Dr. Muhammad Azam for sharing his insights on how to write and get published in high impact journal. And hopefully this sharing session will help us to write better articles. And of course, we can contribute most to our university's KPI. I also would like to, before we stop, I would like to ask everyone to turn on the camera so that we can take picture. Thank you. Dr. Azam, maybe you can unshare your slide.
Okay. No, show slide or remove slide.
Okay. Okay. Please, everyone, turn on your camera. Okay, Syuk, dah ke? Okay, thank you very much. Wait, I will ask admin to share the QR code for the attendance.
Doctor, can I leave now?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Azam.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
I
you.
hope you can send me your slides.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you.